Hello, friends. Imagine this. Donald Trump, sitting in the Oval Office, publicly threatens Iran with the words, "The next attack will be far worse," while at the same time, the United States is moving an aircraft carrier, destroyers, B-2 bombers, and thousands of Marines straight into the Persian Gulf. This is not a Hollywood trailer. This is reality on January 31st, 2026. And the question that won't let anyone sleep, is America gearing up for a new war in the Middle East? Or is this just another round of Trump's maximum pressure to force Tehran back to the negotiating table? Stay with me until the end. We're going to break down every detail, every source, every motive, every risk, and the most likely scenarios. If you think this is far away from us, you're mistaken, because oil prices, inflation, and even weapons deliveries to Ukraine could change in a matter of days. On January 30th, 31st, 2026, Trump made several consecutive statements. Time is running out for Iran. We have a massive military presence in the region. If they don't agree to a deal, the next attack will be far worse than the previous ones. We are deploying additional forces, an aircraft carrier, fighters, bombers. This is not a threat. This is reality. I want a nuclear deal, but not the weak one from 2015. Iran either sits down at the table or pays a very high price. These words came during a White House briefing and in an interview with Fox News. At the same time, the Pentagon confirmed the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, aircraft carrier with escorts, cruisers, and air wing, is already heading toward the Persian Gulf. In addition, strategic B-2 Spirit bombers, KC-135 tankers, and Marine units are being deployed. Reuters and AP report that this is the largest buildup of U.S. forces in the region since 2020. Why right now? The official version from the Trump administration, Iran is allegedly preparing a new round of aggression, supporting the Houthis in the Red Sea, supplying drones and missiles to Russia, activating Hezbollah against Israel. But there's another version, already being widely discussed by analysts in Politico, CNN, and The Guardian. Trump wants a quick win on the foreign policy front ahead of the 2026 midterms and to show he's tougher than Biden. Let's break down the key elements to understand just how serious this is. The USS Abraham Lincoln, with its strike group, that's about 90 aircraft, including FA-18 Super Hornets, EA-18G Growlers, E-2 Hawkeyes, additional B-2 Spirit bombers, capable of carrying nuclear weapons, although no one is officially saying that, KC-46 Pegasus and KC-135 tankers, dozens of aerial refueling aircraft, reinforcement of bases in Bahrain, Qatar, Al Udeid, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. This is not show of force. This is a configuration that allows massive strikes on dozens of targets in a single night. Trump keeps repeating a new nuclear deal tougher than the JCPOA of 2015. Specifically, complete halt to uranium enrichment above 3.67%, dismantling of centrifuges, full IAEA inspector access to all sites, including military ones, cessation of weapons supplies to the Houthis, Hezbollah, and Hamas, end to assistance to Russia in Ukraine, drones, missiles, components. Iran has already responded. We will not negotiate under threat. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei called Trump's demands absurd, and President Pezeshkian stated, "If the U.S. attacks, we will strike back at all bases in the region." In January 2020, Trump ordered the killing of General Qasem Soleimani. Iran retaliated with missile strikes on U.S. bases in Iraq. Over 100 wounded. Then came mutual escalation, but it never turned into full-scale war. The situation now is worse. Iran is significantly closer to a nuclear bomb. CIA estimates 2 to 3 weeks to enough enriched uranium for one device. Russia and China are supporting Tehran far more actively than in 2020. Israel is at war with Hezbollah and has already struck Iranian targets in Syria. The Houthis are blocking the Red Sea, Oil prices have already jumped 4 to 6% in 2 days. If war breaks out, oil prices could spike to $120, $150 per barrel. Inflation in Europe and the US will surge sharply, less money for aid to Ukraine. Russia will get even higher prices for its oil, more money for its war. The US may redirect part of its weapons and attention from Ukraine to the Middle East. In other words, for us Ukrainians, this is not a distant war. It's a direct risk of reduced aid and rising prices for everything. Trump loves to talk loudly, but often doesn't follow through. On one hand, he doesn't want a new big war, bad for the economy and elections. On the other hand, his team, Pompeo-style hawks, and Netanyahu are pushing hard for a tough line. Iran isn't bluffing either. They have hypersonic Fatah-1 missiles, Sejil ballistic missiles, Shahed 238 drones, Ghadir-class submarines. They can strike U.S. bases in Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and even Israel. The most likely scenario over the next 2 to 4 weeks, not all-out war, but a series of limited strikes. U.S. and Israel hit nuclear facilities. Iran responds asymmetrically, drones, missiles on bases, Houthi attacks on shipping. Even that could push oil to $130 plus and create global chaos. What does this mean for Ukraine? If Brent crosses $100, expect worse funding. Don't believe Trump will solve everything diplomatically. He might, but at the cost of concessions to Iran, which means more weapons for Russia. World attention may partially shift from Ukraine to the Middle East. In summary, friends, we are watching a very dangerous moment. Trump is playing the tough guy. Iran is saying, "We're not afraid," and the whole world is holding its breath. This could end in a new nuclear deal or a limited war that touches all of us. What do you think? Do you believe Trump is bluffing, or is this already the road to a major war? Write in the comments, like if you think we need to talk about this loudly, and subscribe. Tomorrow or the day after, the situation could change dramatically. Thank you for being with me. Stay strong, and may everything be all right.